Hey guys, it's Queen Auset-Heru, and thank you for joining me for the Witch Trials. Now, guys, listen, I'm going on vacation for a couple of days, so I won't be uploading a edition of the Witch Trials until not this Monday, but the Monday after that. Okay? Just wanted to let you know. Today, I put on trial Oz, the Great and Powerful. I know some of you have seen this movie. I really like the actor who played Oz. I'm just going to say that off the bat. So then you guys know my format. Let me tell you my format. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the movie, a little bit of a summary. Then I'm going to tell you the vices, and then I'm going to tell you the virtues. And finally, I'm going to grade this movie. How am I going to grade it? I'm going to grade it simply based on witchcraft accuracy. As always, is there any witchcraft in this damn movie? It's going to be my question. Because a lot of times, you guys know, we do these reviews, and sometimes there's more witchcraft than others, okay? So let me get down to business. Oz the Great and Powerful. Oz the Great and Powerful basically is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. It talks about how the wizard got to Oz in the first place. Okay? So it's really kind of cool because it's in black and white in the beginning, just like The Wizard of Oz, and then it goes into color, just like The Wizard of Oz. So I thought that was kind of cool. I love that because at first, Kansas is represented by black and white. It's dull, kind of humdrum, a bunch of farmers, which is cool because we need farmers. But the characters find it to be boring and humdrum, and they're usually having some kind of dilemma. Oz is in the same place. He is having a dilemma because he's a con man. He's a magician, not a magic worker, not a witch or a wizard, but a magician like Harry Houdini, illusion, smoke and mirrors, that kind of thing. So he has no real powers, but he cons people into thinking that he does, which is one of his biggest problems in the beginning of the movie. He doesn't want to be a con man. He wants to be a great man. So he's at this traveling kind of carnival circus thing. He's doing his show, The Great and Powerful Oz. And he's not making very much. And he's making a lot of messed up mistakes. He's a ladies' man. I ain't even gonna call him a ladies' man. He a player. He's a player. He's lying to all these women. He gives them all the same jewelry box and tells them that it's from his grandmother who died in the war, and she had to drag the box across the world for him to have it. And I want you to have this box. And these poor unsuspecting women are just so naive and, So he's in trouble because of that, And in the beginning of the movie, he flirting with the strong man's wife. Or he was flirting with the strong man's wife. And at the time, he's flirting with a whole different woman in his trailer. And the strong man gets wind of it and goes to beat him up. So he runs. He's a coward. He runs. And he runs away and jumps in a hot air balloon. And the hot air balloon gets stuck because a tornado has just, by the way, started. And the tornado takes the hot air balloon up into the sky. Now, he think he's going to die. It's stuff flying at the thing and stabbing it. I mean, it was cute little action in the beginning. I thought it was cute. And finally, of course, he ends up in Oz. So as soon as he gets to Oz, he lands in the water. And a woman comes over to him and she's like, "Are you okay? Oh my God, you're the prophecy." So apparently there's this prophecy that this great and powerful wizard is going to fall from the sky and he is going to make everything right and fix all that's wrong in Oz. Well, our wizard is just a con man. He don't know what to do. So he lets them believe that he's the wizard of this prophecy, which can be argued he is and he isn't, as you go through the story. And so this witch the first time he's met a pretty witch, a good witch, because he was like, "You're a witch? Where's your warts?" You know. So this witch tells him about the prophecy, takes him to the Emerald City, and the whole journey ensues. So basically, what ends up happening is you find out that the first witch is three witches, and you find out that the first witch he met ends up being the green witch that we all know from The Wizard of Oz. The second witch is her sister, probably the one that the house fell on in Wizard of Oz. And the third witch is Glinda, the good witch. So the first two witches make him believe that Glinda is the evil witch, when in reality, they're the bad ones. So they tell him to go kill her and steal her wand, or steal her wand, and whatever the case is, and destroy her wand and come back. He goes to meet Glinda, finds out the truth that Glinda's actually, as we all know, the good witch. And then he gets together with Glinda and finds a way to help Oz. So in the end, he actually does fulfill the prophecy. Now, the one thing I found to be very interesting about this was that in the very beginning, when he met the green witch, she wasn't green. She was a normal witch. She became green and hideous because what did he do? He played with her heart. And I've come to find that this is a wonderful metaphor. I've seen this in Maleficent, and I've seen this in other movies, and I've seen that it's a wonderful metaphor for how heartache and bitterness can turn a woman, a person really, into a whole different negative version of themselves. So I thought that was really cool. But anyway, he saves the day and decides to stay in Oz and be the Wizard of Oz. And the witches, they defeat them, and they're off somewhere. And then I guess when Dorothy's story picks up, that's when that story begins to happen. So it was very interesting. I liked it a lot. I liked the character, the actor who played the great and powerful Oz. Very handsome gentleman with dark features, very handsome. I could see why women were falling for him because he was very cute. Now, I'm going to tell you my vices. The vices are first. What I did not like. What witches cannot do. The problems in this movie. The first problem is that Oz thought that witches had warts and a broom. And for me, this is so cliche. And it's not his fault, you know, because everybody, when you say witch, they think broom, warts, cauldron, you know, but I just thought it was extremely cliche. So that was my first vice, is that he actually was like, "Oh, where's your broom? Where's your warts?" And I'm like, "Really, Oz?" Like, seriously? But he had never seen a witch before, so we got to give him a pass. The next vice is, they're able to make fog with their magic wands. I thought this was really cool, and I wish I could do this, but we cannot make fog appear. I've also seen this in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Dumbledore made fog appear. Again, not something that we can do. So she used her wand, said some hocus pocus, and fog just came out of nowhere. And I'm sitting there watching it like, yeah, okay, that's a really neat trick. I wish I could do that. Then Glinda could fly, but she also could put a person in a bubble and they could fly. So she could fly on her own, but if you or me was falling out of the sky or fell or something, she could put a bubble around you and then you would float. You quickly float, actually. They were flying pretty fast. So I thought that was cool. Again, we can't do that. That would be really cool, though. Nobody would ever die if we really had that ability. Then the next one was the two evil witches had an army of flying monkeys, which you guys already know about, the flying monkeys. They had an army of flying monkeys, and it seems like they bewitched these monkeys. Like, I guess they got regular monkeys and some kind of way bewitched them so they could fly, had big wings. And I was watching it thinking to myself, man, please, if I could do something like that, that would be crazy. We do not command armies of flying monkeys. um, Green in color. One of the witches I mentioned to you, the first witch, she becomes green. And her sister is evil and she's not green. So the movie is indicating that she's more evil, according to the movie, than her sister. And I've never seen a green witch except for on television. Um, Even negative, or what somebody would call a dark witch, wouldn't turn green. Her aura might be kind of dark, but her skin color itself probably would never turn green. If I saw a green witch, I would probably faint. Like, where did you come from, you know? They could fly. I mentioned this before. All of them could fly. All three of the witches. The first witch ends up with a broom because after Oz says it, she starts flying around on the broom. She's like, is this what you meant? Is this what you wanted me to have? And you're looking like, okay. So they all could fly. We can't fly. If I could fly, man, if I could fly, I probably never would be home. I'd probably be flying all over the world. Throwing lightning. They could throw lightning bolts out of their hand. It was a cool trick, like, you know, and I was watching it like, oh, that's decent. So one of them had lightning, and then the other sister could throw fireballs out of her hand. Again, pretty cool. Now, both of these things are something that in the wrong hands would be homicidal, but I thought it was kind of cool that they at least had the ability to defend themselves with lightning and fire. But of course, they didn't use it for defense, they used it for offense. And the last vice is that they could throw people with magic, like throw you across the room, you know? And you see this in a lot of movies, this extreme telekinesis, these witches with this extreme telekinesis, and they can pick up trucks and they can throw cars and they can throw people out the window. And at one point at the end, Glenda was fighting the sister, and she took her hands and went like that, and the sister flew out the window. But the flying monkeys caught her, so she wasn't dead. So I was watching it thinking to myself, if I could, man, man, oh my goodness. I probably would be in jail if I had that ability. Thank God I can't do that. All right, so those are all of the vices. Now we're going to talk about the virtues. The virtues are the things that I actually did like. I loved the colors. I love the vivid, beautiful colors. As soon as he gets to Oz, the colors are just dancing on the screen. I loved it. The colors of the little creatures and the water and the sky and the flowers. It was beautiful. I love colors, as you guys already know, but I just loved the colors in this movie. It was amazing. The good witch, bad witch. I like the good witch, bad witch dynamic. I like that in a lot of movies, actually, because it's true. I mean, you have in real life, you have the love and light witches, and then you have the not so love and light witches. So it's a real accurate representation of what you have going on. I love the fantasy aspect of it. This movie is a total fantasy. Most of what happens cannot really happen, bottom line. I love the creatures, the little fantasy creatures, the fairies and the munchkins and the elves running around. I love that. I like the prophecy. I love a good prophecy. A lot of these witch movies have a prophecy, and I really like that. And Oz definitely fulfilled the prophecy. I like the use of magic. Oz was good with the sleight of hand magic. And I also like the use of the magic wand. Witches really do. A lot of us, I have like 2 or 3 magic wands. A lot of us do use a wand. I loved how, I mentioned this earlier, the heartache turned her evil. Because you do see that a lot with people, men and women. How many people do you know have had a bad breakup or a bad heartbreak? and they're never quite the same. Their whole personality changes. They're jaded. They shut down. This is what this metaphor reminds me of. So I really did enjoy that. And at the end of the movie, Oz even told her, I know this isn't your fault. And if you find the goodness in your heart, we're willing to let you come back to Oz. So he was acknowledging his own part in this poor child, being heartbroken, and letting her know that forgiveness and redemption and salvation is available. Lastly, I like the three witches. I really enjoyed them. And it was kind of cool because I didn't realize that the first witch was going to end up being the Wicked Witch from the second, from the sequel. I didn't realize that because it was like, she wasn't green yet, she was just regular, and she was pretty, she's beautiful. So she's played by that girl that married Ashton Kutcher. I can't remember her name. It's Miley or Minus or something like that. Ashton Kutcher's wife, basically. She was on that 70s show with him. She's beautiful. So I didn't make the connection until the last minute. So what does this movie get? Well, first of all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 vices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 9. 9 virtues and 9 vices. So what would I give this movie? I like this movie. I like it a lot. I thought it was really cute. But as far as witchcraft accuracy is concerned, I have to give it an F. Because even though there was a few things, such as the magic wand that we actually use, there was only a few things in here that I actually can do. I can't fly. I can't, make flying monkeys. It was too many things that I can't really do. It was all fantasy. It was all unrealistic. So if you ask me, is this a good, witchcraft movie for me to see what you actually do, talking about what I actually do? No. Any of the things I do was not present. There was no candles. There was no herbs. There was no oils. There was no crystals. I think I might have saw a crystal ball and I might have saw a cauldron, but I didn't see them do anything in it. Most of what they did was telekinesis. And that's more like a superhero than a witch. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Witch Trials. And I will be back, not this Monday coming, but the Monday after that, with another edition. If you have a witch movie that you would like to see me review, please feel free to send it to me, because I have a list and I'm constantly adding to my list. All right, guys, thank you so much for being my patrons. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. See you later.